Mahomes looks to throw it. Pump faking right side. He wants it. A comeback. It is caught by Kelsey. Touchdown! Kansas City. The game is over. The Kansas City Chiefs are champions. How about those Chiefs?
Hey, welcome to the Kingdom Corner here with Dale and Andrew. The Chiefs had a big win today over the 49ers at the score of 44-23 in San Francisco. So we're about to break down, share our thoughts of the game. So Dale, any initial thoughts on this game?
Yeah. What was they the first team, best defensive team in the league?
Yeah, number one defense again.
44 points. I don't know.
That's right. So here's a stat for you I saw just a little bit earlier. Said the 49ers defense, number one in NFL yards allowed per game at 255, number two in points per game allowed at 14. So remember those numbers, 255 and 14. The Chiefs had 529 offensive yards and 44 points. So, I'd say the Chiefs have figured out how to play against those top defenses.
Yeah. And I think they said I forget the stat now, but they threw it up there during the game. What he was against all top five defenses, and I think he only had lost 2 games to them, and still averaged like 300 yards. And so,
and 28 points, I think too.
Yeah, and then that Andy Reid sure knows how to play those defenses, those top 5 defenses. So that's really cool to see and exciting. I thought the game was going to be a lot closer. It looked like that first half was going to be a lot closer, and then ends up not being very close. 3 scores. So,
so the Chiefs have now played 3 of the top 5 defenses in the league with the Bucs, the Bills, and now the 49ers. And when they played each of those, they were the top defense in the league. And, when you play the Chiefs, your numbers are not going to be the same. So against those teams, though, the Chiefs have averaged 444 yards of offense and 33 points a game. That's pretty good.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Especially against, the top defenses here. So,
Yeah.
So one of the things that stuck out to me a lot, though, is this Chiefs offensive line. I mean, we're going against the team with the second most sacks in the league and held them to 1 sack. So here's a stat for you that I would not have believed if you had told me before the game. Frank Clark had more sacks than Mr. Nick Bosa.
Yeah, that's a tough one to believe. And so he played Frank Clark, the whole defensive line, I thought played well. I mean, I think it was hard for them to get pressure at points, but I think overall they played really, really well. But did you notice who played a lot today?
Are you talking about
on the offense, on our offense?
Yeah,
the Kansas City offense.
You talking about Isaiah Pacheco there?
Well,
or
he played a lot.
Else?
I thought Noah Gray.
Was
on the field quite a bit, helping that offensive line. Maybe just a little bit, maybe chipping a little bit, which I think is great. I think it's good. And so I think it really helped. It was a game plan, gave Mahomes plenty of time to make throws and kept him upright, which is always a good thing.
That's right. You can't beat that. So we'll take the win however we can get it, if you have to chip it or whatever you have to do. So
Yeah.
But yes, and then Isaiah Pacheco got the start today. After the first series, I didn't see him starting the next series as much. I thought, oh man, are they taking the hot hand away from him already? Not going to give him a chance, but he still ended up with the most carries, attempts on the team, and the most yards. But Clyde, he started running a lot better when he didn't get that starting role to start the game out.
So I guess the question is, are they just doing a psychological warfare on Clyde to make him run harder and faster and prove himself a little more?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I'm always starting to think, are they going to take the Bill Belichick approach and just start somebody different every game depending on their matchup?
Yeah, that could be true too. I think Pacheco's still struggling finding those holes. I think Clyde's doing a better job of finding those holes and finding those gaps and hitting them hard and run through them. Seems like Pacheco will run right into his lineman and then fall down. So Again, all respect to these
absolutely.
guys. Don't mean anything, and I know they're probably not going to hear this, so that'd be all right.
You never know. I'm sure this podcast is about to take off and be a worldwide phenomenon. So watch what you say. Watch what you say.
I love all Chiefs Kingdom. So, but
that's right. Yeah, and what about this time about their offense? So Juju had himself another nice game, another 100-yard plus receiving game and a touchdown. I mean, 2 weeks in a row with a touchdown to 40+ yards. So he's starting to seem like he's coming into his own here in the Chiefs offense and finding his groove.
Yeah, we talked about it last week where he kind of showed up with the Buffalo Bills and then he continued to show up. And so Juju, hey, we don't mind him getting on TikTok. I know the Pittsburgh Steelers fans didn't really like him on TikTok, but I say hey, get on there, Juju, do your thing.
That's right. You're going to play like that. Do you?
Yeah, but I'm sure there might be a little angst between him and Jackson Mahomes, who has the better TikTok dances.
That's right. I'm going to go ahead and go Juju. Okay,
all right.
For me, who knows? Who knows? I guess I'd have to watch both of them to actually know, but I'm just going to go with Juju to be on the safe side. So, and here's a guy that I have constantly been a guy of criticism of, Mecole Hardman. You probably knew where I was going with that.
Oh yeah, I knew. That's why I was chuckling. Mecole, man.
Yeah, he's struggled a lot over the years to be consistent, to hold on to the ball, and today found himself in the end zone 3 times.
3 times. Have we been waiting for this, or have we been waiting for this?
Yes, absolutely. 1 and 2. I'll take it.
I think we've been waiting for Mecole Hardman to come out and hopefully, and I think we have said on this very podcast, they need to do that jet sweep, that wide receiver screen a lot more. And I knew they were kind of waiting for him to be healthy, and he finally seems healthy, and he makes plays, and so it's been good. So I think we need to keep doing that. And I think seeing Mecole Hardman continue to progress is a good thing for the Chiefs.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing we called out on this podcast is we said it happened before we said by the bye week or after the bye week that Clyde would not be the starting running back.
Oh yeah, we did. That was a hot take.
I mean, that was a hot take that, we kind of called that one.
Yeah.
I don't know how hot of a take it was, as many people were really high on Isaiah Pacheco coming out of training camp, but either way, we'll see if it stands in the weeks to come, but as of now, there's another hot take for you. I mean, tune into the Kingdom Corner to get these more hot takes that may or may not happen. But, trending in the right direction here. We are. Yeah. So here's the question I have for you, though.
Okay.
Thing about special teams here. Mr. Sky Moore. Mr. Sky Moore. I mean,
he saw his last punt. He saw his last one. Right? Yeah. Don't you think?
I mean, that's what I would think. I mean, that's twice this year he's fumbled a punt, and not just fumbled it on a return, just trying to catch it. He's fumbled it.
Well, he was 3 yards away from the ball.
Yeah, and still trying to reach out for it. I mean, at that point, if you're that far out, just run away from it. Don't even try.
Right. Yeah.
So, and that's how he dropped the first one too. He wasn't close to it, reaching out for it.
Yeah, I'm sure Andy Reid, he's going to give him grace. And say, okay, your first one, jitters, whatever, they clean it up. We got guys that would like to make the team too, and they can actually catch punts. But
that's right.
Special teams, that was difficult, and that could have been really bad if we didn't have one of the greatest offenses ever.
That's right. Well, and the rookie Joshua Williams, who we've rightfully been a little hard on him as, rookie cornerback who's given up a lot and getting beat a lot, but he saved his bacon with that interception there. But the other side is, Jimmy Garoppolo, he just lofted that ball up. I'm pretty sure I could have intercepted that ball, but either way, I'm glad Joshua Williams was able to get his first, NFL interception. So good for him.
Yeah. Build some confidence. Confidence on him. So we want that.
Yeah. But is Dave Toub the best special teams coach in the NFL?
Oh yeah. Hands down. Hands down. That little play they did to get them out of field goal range was brilliant.
Which was the same play that Sky Moore fumbled on, but same series that is. But they're about to kick field goal, did a little stunt there, forced a false start, backed him out of field goal range, had a punt. I mean, that's brilliant. Brilliant.
Oh, yeah. But maybe they should have kicked the field goal, missed it, or then we wouldn't have fumbled.
Yeah, well, either way, they got 0 points out of it.
0 points. That's true. So there you go.
I mean, hindsight's 20/20, but and then on that kick return to start the second half, I mean, it was a called cutback play on that. I mean, everybody runs to the right and then cuts it back, but the blockers are there for the cutback. So, I mean, that was huge.
Oh, yeah. Okay, what play stood out to you out of all the plays? What was the most like?
That's a good question. I'm going to take one on defense and offense. How about that?
Okay, all right, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that sounds good.
I'll say my defensive play is the Frank Clark safety. So, I mean, there's lots of plays to pick from, and that might go against my comment that's going to come later on. But, I mean, Frank Clark had himself a game, and that defensive line outperformed the 49ers defensive line. So, I mean, it was incredible to watch just the defensive line go at it time after time, play after play, and just, for the most part, just dominate the 49ers offensive line. And Frank Clark, I mean, 2 sacks in a row, had the sack, then had the safety, going against Trent Williams, the number 1 left tackle in the NFL, to get those sacks. I mean, that's huge for him. A guy that has shown, spurts of brilliance and stuff before, but hasn't always been consistent in getting to the quarterback. So that was good to see. So that's my defensive one, at least.
All right. Do you have an offensive one or no?
Well, it's hard to narrow it down when you have a game with so much firepower. I mean, Mahomes himself, 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, there's a lot to pick from.
Yeah.
I mean, we had MVS had a 100-yard game. Juju had a 100-yard game. Travis Kelce was 2 yards away from a 100-yard game.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
To almost have 3 receivers as 100 yards receiving, it's good. But it seemed like there's a lot of plays there that they had huge chunks on third down. I mean, there was 50-some yards to MVS. There's the 40-some yard touchdown to Juju. I mean, I think just the fact that seeing those big plays, so I'll go with the Juju one, I guess, since it ended in a touchdown. Okay. But just seeing those
that was big. Yeah, that was big.
Yeah, seeing those big plays again when everybody said without Tyreek we'd never be able to get him. I mean, so those are just really good to see. The Chiefs were still stretching the field, though people were doubting they'd be able to.
Yeah. I thought for me, the McKinnon third and 20.
Oh yeah,
that screenplay. It was huge. I think that this gave them momentum and kept them going. I think McKinnon continues to make those plays where he just moves the ball downfield. I mean, most teams are just like, I think we were kind of conceding there and not going for it. But that was interesting. That was really big. And then I think that Juan Thornhill breakup pass was huge to see. Where he came in and didn't touch the wide receiver at all and smacked the ball away. And it was like, that was beautiful. Like there was no chance of them calling pass interference on him or anything. So that was probably the big 2 plays that stood out to me. And then what about the end of the first half? How'd that stand out to you?
The end of the first half? What specifically about that are you referring to? Well, they're on the same page here.
Yeah. So they throw it into the end zone, score a touchdown. We have a penalty. Have to bring it back.
Yes.
11 seconds left on the clock. I mean, I knew they were a little further back, but you don't take a shot in the end zone. You don't think there's you don't think there's a chance, or try to throw it a little closer, get it out of bounds, a little quick out, get a little closer, then take a shot in the end zone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, first off, I think it should have stood as a touchdown personally, because that's a play that had been happening the entire game that they had not called. that the running backs are going out and cutting out those defensive ends, outside of the box. And yet that one time, for whatever reason, they decide to call it. And so Travis Kelce should have had himself a touchdown there, but
and that was quite a pass. That was quite a pass.
Yeah, and quite a catch. I mean, it's a play that won't show up in the stat books because it's called back as a penalty. But Travis Kelce catching that ball away from those two defenders with his hands and being strong enough to hold on and put it over. I mean, it's incredible. But to your point, I would agree with you. I think 11 seconds left. You have Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
I don't know if Andy Reid forgot that for a second, but you have Patrick Mahomes on your team. You got to at least take a shot to the end zone, and you don't throw it short at all because you don't have any touchdowns, but you throw it either in the end zone or over the end zone, but you take a shot.
Take a shot. All right. Glad I wasn't the only one.
Yeah. Well, here's a positive thing I thought too.
All right.
At the end of the game, going into the fourth quarter, the Chiefs are up by, I think, 5 points at that point, something like that. And the Chiefs, guess what they did? They actually kept driving the ball, kept doing offense instead of going, you know what? We're just going to run it every play and just hope we don't lose. They actually, I mean, it's crazy what happens when you actually play offense the entire game.
The entire time.
If this is what we could get every week, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, wouldn't it be amazing? Like middle of the fourth quarter, they could sit and not play.
Yeah, let Chad Henne get some more reps in there.
Yeah, because they're up 3 scores.
Yeah,
so.
if you're up by 7 points, 10 points, that's not the time to do it. But if you're up by 3 scores, by all means, let Chad Henne get some reps.
Yeah. And what a way to go into the bye week, huh?
Absolutely.
With a big win.
Yeah. Well, here's one of the last things I got for you about this game is Chris Jones here. Is he the best defender in football so far this year?
So far, I think statistically he would be the best defender.
I mean, I think he is. He is in the backfield, breaking up plays over and over. I mean, he's not always necessarily logging sacks, but he is impacting the game after game after game. And when it matters most, he is pushing his way through and making his money. So it's good to see.
That's good to see. So we'll see if he's great. I'm still surprised we haven't heard anything what the Chiefs were planning on doing with that cap space.
Yeah. I think the OBJ thing might be a little bit overrated at this point, simply because since he's a free agent, not anywhere. Yeah. You would have thought if that's who they were targeting, they would have signed him by this point. So I'm hoping that we'll see. Yeah, but the other thing is, the Carolina Panthers seem to be having a fire sale, so they have a great defensive end, and Brian Burns we could go after.
There you go.
If they're willing to trade him for the right price, that is.
Yeah.
So, but how do you think the Chiefs' defense did against Christian McCaffrey?
Yeah, I was a little nervous there in the first quarter, but after the first quarter, it seemed like they bottled up, they figured it out, what they were doing, and credit to Spags, they made adjustments. And so there's no doubt McCaffrey's a dynamic player, and he was only there 2 days, so not a lot of familiarity with the offense, but it was good to see the Chiefs defense kind of shut that down. Yep,
absolutely. And I was kind of surprised that the Panthers didn't try to run him a little bit more because he's having a lot of success with it. So I'll take it either way though.
There you go. But they still have Jimmy G.
That's right. I was thinking even watching that game, I thought, if the 49ers had an all-star quarterback, they might just be a Super Bowl contender. So I think they have that good of players around them. But unfortunately, Jimmy G let them down a few times by missing some pretty open guys.
Man. Oh, feel bad for it. I don't, but I do.
Yeah, I'd feel bad for him if he wasn't playing the Chiefs.
That's right. There you go. There it is. Yeah, I didn't feel bad today, but tomorrow or next week when they're playing somebody and that's tough. That's tough.
It is. So any other thoughts on this game against the 49ers?
I think that was a great way to go into the bye week just on top and kind of remind everybody who you are.
That's right. make sure these
So,
people know that, hey, just because we dropped one of the Bills doesn't mean that we've taken a step back.
yeah.
So, yeah. So, man, thanks for joining us this week in the Kingdom Corners. We recap the 49ers game. We're heading to a bye week, but we're still going to be doing an episode or two here coming up, just talking about the rest of the season and maybe some just fun facts and maybe a few controversial things between the two of us. So we'll find out what happens. So
There we go.
make sure you tune in, join us, and follow us here in the Kingdom Corner. We'll see you next time.